Today we will talk about how to go back and forth between the decimal and fraction notation. So let's go from the decimal to fractions first. Decimals to fractions. When you see a decimal and then somebody is asking you to write the decimal as a fraction, what you do is you first read it and then you write it. So the step is read, write, and there is one more step, and that is simplify. So let's try this example. Let's read it. When we read it, 2 and 3/10. Now let's write it. 2 and 3/10. Now you can skip this thing and you can read, and now you can just go straight down to writing it in fraction and simplify. You don't have to write it in English. Now when you see 2 and 3/10, you write 2 and 3/10. If there is anything to simplify, you go ahead and simplify. If there is nothing to simplify, you leave it alone. You can also put it in an improper fraction format, which is 2 times 10 plus 3, which is 23/10. Let's do another one. We are going from decimals to fractions. But this time, let's say we end up simplifying. When you read this number, you say 2 and 25/100. 2 and 25/100. Now let's try to write it in the fraction format. 2, when you say and, put the fraction number. 25 over 100. Now can I simplify the fraction part? Yes, you can. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. Therefore, this mixed number is 2 and 1/4. If you want to write it as an improper fraction, that would be 2 times 4, that's 8, plus 1, that's 9/4. Now let's try to go from fraction to decimal notation. This one is also pretty simple. What you need to do is, when you see a fraction like 1/2 and you want to go to decimal, you unfortunately need to have either a calculator or know how to do division. So 1/2 is simply, what you need to do is just divide it and do the long division. Okay, so let's try 1 divided by 2. Since 1 is smaller than 2, what you need to do is you need to put a 0 here, point, and then 0 here. When you put the 0 and 0, you're covered. How many 2's in 10? 5 2's. 2 times 5, 10, 0. And you continue as much as they want you to continue. So 1/2 fraction is simply 0.5 as a decimal. Let's go do a little bit more complex problem. Let's say I am going from fraction to decimal. And remember, the step is to divide. Let's say I have this problem. 3 divided by 10. Okay, 3/10. How do you do this problem? All you need to do is just divide 3 by 10. 3 divided by 10. This is small, this is big, so what you do is put a 0 here and put a 0 point. How many 10's in 3? 3 of them. 3 times 10, 30. Subtract. Therefore, the fraction 3/10 in decimal is simply equal to 0.3. You can kind of make it as complex as you want. Let's say I have a mixed number. You don't have to deal with the whole number part. All you have to do is to deal with the fractional part. So what you need to do is you need to divide 2 by 5. 2 is smaller than 5. So just like before, you put a 0 here and 0 here. How many 5s in 20? 4. 4 times 5, 20. Subtract. So 2/5 is simply 0.4. So what did you have before? You had 3, and for 2/5 you had 0.4, which gives you 3.4 as a decimal.